about the allegations! Talk about this is why I'm watching. I don't give a about Keemstar's audio levels. The audio levels right now on my stream are probably way too loud, because
Some people in the comment section of the last video said that I'm a bread tuber now because I'm holding the microphone. Let it be known, this is not by choice, okay? My microphone stand branked. It doesn't work anymore, so I'm holding it now. But I thought for today we would complete the bread tuber setup just to please all the communists in my audience. I know there's a lot of you there. Hello, my name is Ivan. I'm coming to you from Moscow, and I'm here to talk about why Hassan Piker is the best. So it seems like Ethan Klein is having a bit of a rough month right now in terms of drama. There's a lot going on, which may not seem out of the ordinary to you, but as somebody who's like a schizo stalker and is consistently following these people, there's a higher volume of drama than is usual, okay? There's a lot going on. It seems like it just keeps piling on and piling on and piling on, and a lot of it is involving politics because, of course it is. You know, everything has to be political now. Don't you guys miss when, not every fucking drama was like right-wing person versus left-wing person? Don't you guys miss when it was like, you know, how are we gonna eat the rich or whatever? Get it? But on a real note, I do want more fat people drama. Like, I feel like there's not enough fat people drama going on. And I can't even get that here today because Ethan Klein isn't even fat anymore. He lost the weight. What's that Rice Gum line? He's like, H3 had to let the weight go.
In the race, I see stars like I'm KO'd. Bitches chase me, I don't got no time to chase hoes. For the song, I was gonna make y'all wait though, but like H3, I had to let the weight go. Okay, look, like H3, you know, he's kind of overweight, where he had to let the weight go. And me being a rapper with a song, I had to let the weight go, because people were waiting for the song, so, you know, it was play on words, man. You know, only certain people with very high IQ can process that.
That was fire.
Heard you've been gooning lately. Lost your edging streak? Looks like you need a little reminder, buddy. Stop gooning with my new merch. We've got premium materials,
High quality embroidery.
esoteric designs.
What more could you ask for?
What's that? You need a hat to keep your sensitive little eyes out of the sun? Good thing I thought of that.
And if you ever forget how to put together a Nerf blaster,
Just read the instructions on your brimmy brim.
Please buy it! TurkeyTom.shop! Please! TurkeyTom.shop! Please! Stop gooning today at TurkeyTom.shop.
Stop gooning at TurkeyTom.shop. Edge forever. Limited quantities available. Get it now before it's gone forever.
if you don't buy it, I'm gonna commit a crime. I might commit a crime anyway. Please fund the crime I want to commit with my merch sales. I'm going to commit a crime because of the merch sales. If you buy this hat, if you buy this shirt, I will use the money that I get from it to commit a heinous crime. Is what I would say if I was going to do that, but I'm not. All right, so Ethan Klein of H3H3 Productions, the H3 podcast. He went on a podcast recently to have a chat with a man named Steiny from Nelk. Okay, you guys probably don't know who he is. He's another Jewish content. Wait, is that important? Why'd I say that? And Steiny is friends with Sneeko, who Ethan does not like for obvious reasons. They're kind of politically life opposed. You know, they don't get along. They're not on the best of terms. All right, you know what I mean. So they were chatting about the drama that had gone on with Sneeko, and you know, Steiny was really confused. He's like, "Wait, you don't like Sneeko? Why not? I think he's a good guy. He's always nice to me." And so Ethan decided to do Steiny the gracious gift. He decided to gift him a Valentine's Day present, which is introducing him to a very old famous video of Sneeko that we all know and love to hate. I love to hate. I don't really love it. I don't really like it, but I know it and I love it.
I've seen her fuck other men, and it's just like that was.
Seen it?
Yeah, I saw it like literally right.
Can't be no.
Now, if you pause it for a minute.
You came.
Now, I'm not one to judge people's sexual private life, but this is a guy who preaches alphaness and calls women sluts and like thinks that like he believes in like chastity and all this.
And this obviously made Steiny over here a little bit uncomfortable because he is friends with Sneeko. And here's Ethan just like shitting on him, being like, this guy's a cuck. This guy sucks. This guy's weird, right? This guy has gay sex with boys or something. I don't know, whatever it is he does. And here he's got Ethan on his podcast cyberbullying his friend. It was pretty based. It was good. But Ethan decides to keep prodding and prodding despite the clear amount of discontent and discomfort from Steiny. And then all of a sudden, Ethan's like, why don't we just call Sneeko? Why don't we just call him? And they do end up calling him. And it went about as well as you would expect it to go, which is not that good.
And do you still dream about a fellow's eyelashes tickling your balls when you jerk off? Because I bet that
You
felt
saying
pretty
this to my
good.
face?
Oh, it's,
Say this to my face when I see you.
why are you mad? Why are you mad? Because I can imagine that felt really good. I mean,
I like my balls tickled.
Sneeko does his typical kind of tough guy act where he threatens Ethan physically. He does this to anyone who makes fun of him online. It's like a big kind of thing in the red pill space. Like, you never say that to my, hey, you never say that to my face. Hey, you never say that to my face. You would never say that to my face, bro. Call me a cuck to my face. I don't like it. I've never seen Sneeko fight, by the way. Like, I can't remember a single instance in which he fought and won. There are 2 times he did fight. One of them was with Sean Strickland, and obviously Sean destroyed him. Sean is a professional fighter, though, so we'll give him a little bit of room there. You know, Sean is, you know, trained to do that. It's what he gets paid to do. He's, you know, one of the best in the game, one of the best in the game. And then Sneeko also fought a security guard, but it wasn't much of a fight. It was just like Sneeko talking shit, and then the security guard kind of leapt directly up into the air. He did like a, all of a sudden like a whoop, vertical leap, and then he just like Superman punched him in the skull. It was one of the crazier things I've ever seen. Why am I crouching? It was one of the crazier things I've ever seen. The first rule of the playbook is if you touch a brother's brim, the consequence shall be grim. What if we sit like this? Oh, fuck, ow. A little bit painful. No, how do I do it? All right, we're going back to normal. Ooh, what about this? What about that? You guys like that? I think I like that. What about that? But every time that Sneeko's been challenged in real life, he basically either folds or loses, you know, from every instance that we have. I've never seen a successful Sneeko fight. And while he talks about how much he goes to the gym and he works out, he's on his grind, right? He's posting these like gym videos. I don't really see it personally. Seems to me like he hasn't put on very much muscle mass, okay? He's not doing a proper Sam Sulek bulk. Unlike me. Fuck. So I honestly think that if Sneeko ever met Ethan Klein in real life, I think he'd be like, well, say it to my face. And Ethan would be like, you're a cock. And then I think Sneeko would just kind of fold and walk away or something. You want to go, bro? But he wouldn't actually go. Bros who say you want to go almost never actually go. All right, keep that in mind, guys. Life lesson, life lesson. But this beef began really escalating past this point, okay? Sneeko was not going to let it drop. This was not going to be a one and done. Ethan Klein had made a new personal enemy by talking about his old cuck video. And now even Sneeko's fans are apparently confronting Ethan Klein in public, not because of the cuck thing, but it's more because of the Palestine situation issue, okay? You guys know that whole thing? There's like this guy over there named Palestine. There's this guy named Israel. They have some kind of beef. One of them stole the Roblox chicken nugget from the other. I don't really give a shit, but seems like a funny war.
I was just curious, how come you don't like Sneeko?
oh, he's a piece of shit. You like him?
Yes. How come you don't like Palestine?
I like Palestine.
No, you don't.
Why do you say that?
Because, bro, you're... wasn't she in the IDF?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Mandatory service.
That's
She was born
sad.
there.
That's terrorism, bro.
She was born there.
That's sad. I feel bad for you guys. Ethan Klein, bro, you're
Be
ugly
born,
as
man.
fuck, bro. You're ugly as shit. You look like a
Bro, look in the fucking...
You look like a fucking Ethan.
And I do think that doing this kind of thing, even like to a public figure in public, is a shitty thing to do because, you know, YouTubers are still people, you know, almost no matter what they say online. I don't think it's really justified to like basically harass them in person. But, you know, at the same time, if you look at the video, Ethan is driving a very peculiar car. I was like, what is that car? What is that car? It's a Tesla. And, you know, from that perspective, if anyone's driving a Tesla, I mean, look, you got to do what you got to do. All right. If he's driving a Tesla, you got to do what you got to do. When it comes to bicyclists, when it comes to bicyclists and Tesla drivers, you got to do what you got to do because these people are inhuman. And the second they step into that vehicle, they're no longer one of us. But the fact that Ethan wasn't driving the car also had a lot of funny takes. Twitter has been kind of a war zone with this thing. Lamau, is it really surprising that Ethan Klein's ugly bitch ass is sitting passenger with his masculated girlfriend Ela with a bird nose and deep voice that makes her sound like she has a ball sack is driving? I don't even... Twitter, let it be known, guys, I would never, ever be caught being in a car with a woman driver, okay? What? Couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. I refuse to let them do it. I just don't let it happen, okay? I just can't let it happen. It goes against my morals. Unless that female driver is my mom when I'm sick, in which case I demand that she take the wheel from me and bring me chicken soup 5 times a day and Funko Pops as well. I think that's really necessary when I'm feeling, you know, a little stuffy in the nose area. But this is not the only drama related to Ethan that's sprouting up. It's growing from the ground right now, okay? We've got a lot more deep lore. People are talking about someone that Ethan knows that's not Ethan, but is related to Ethan, being Moses, who is Ela's brother, the husband of Trisha Paytas, which would make him Ethan's brother-in-law, his brother by law even, okay?
Gonna be 8. Right around. Here goes my Oh. 100. 100. Where's it come?
I pity and hate Trisha Paytas with every fiber of my being. Just let that be known, okay? I don't like this person. Every time I see her, I get angry because I hate her. It's not even just that I like pity her or I want to make fun of her. I see her exist and I'm like, she has oxygen? How as a society did they allow Trisha Paytas to get access to clean oxygen? I don't know. I'm not saying she shouldn't have it. I'm just curious how society allowed her to have it. That being said, I can't let my bias get in the way here, guys, okay? So gotta be on my toes. Gotta be on my toes for bias. I'll come back around. Don't worry. It's fuck. How do I get back? But there's like dark times going on here. I mean, we've got like women driving. You know, we've got Trisha Paytas driving. I assume she drives cars, which is crazy. But whatever. So 9 months ago. Okay, I'm getting distracted. 9 months ago, the Leftovers podcast with Ethan and Hassan, it came to an end. The communist socialist podcast, my personal favorite podcast, came to an end. And shortly after that, we got this clip from Moses where he talks about Hassan a little bit.
I don't know. Obviously, he's not for me. I just thought he was like a gamer. Does he play games or
he's
just
on Twitch? But I think he talks on Twitch.
Yeah.
Do you watch him? Are you a Hassan fan?
No, I don't like politics. So I don't watch anyone that talks about politics.
Oh, he's always political.
It's all political.
What side is he on?
The good side.
The good side. I don't know. Hopefully. You don't know what he promotes? What if he's on Trump's side?
I have no idea.
I think he's liberal. I think he's very liberal from what I've seen on Twitter. I think that's why gay Twitter also likes him because he's hot and liberal. So
is he for the gays?
I think so. I'm assuming. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be speaking that much about him.
The thing is, like, they didn't even say anything in this video. Like, nothing's really said that should, in theory, make me mad. But something about every fiber of my being is, like, genetically opposed to whatever this is, okay? Like, the only guy I can even slightly defend here is Moses, ironically enough, who's at the center of this drama. Everyone else in this room is just like, something needs to be done. I don't know what's going to be done, but something needs to be done, okay? Whatever it may be, whatever it is, I'll let, the government decide that, but something's got to be done. But this is where the video is going to get dark, okay? You thought we were going to have a video without allegations. You'd be wrong, because there have been some serious allegations made about Moses Hakmon that came to light that I think are at least worth mentioning here. This actually began about 2 years ago, okay? And I didn't even know much about it until recently because, big surprise, I don't really watch the H3 podcast very much. Ever since Leftovers fell apart, I feel like I'm not being represented very well, so there's really no reason for me to watch it. But ever since the beginning of time, there's been drama with Moses. We've got a Business Insider article here that covered it a few years ago, titled "Trisha Paytas and fiance Moses Hakmon are facing mounting scrutiny, not normal scrutiny. The scrutiny is mounting amid a series of exposés and callouts." Here they write, "Two women have come forward on social media to accuse Hakmon of lying about a sexual history during their purported sexual relationships and stealthing, which is the act of removing a condom during sex. Stealthing is not a crime anywhere in the United States, at least as of the time they wrote this article, but the devil demonic legislature of California moved to outlaw it this week, okay? So they're demonic for other reasons, but they did outlaw stealthing, which, to be clear, is a good thing. Probably shouldn't be, getting in the business, getting to the, you probably shouldn't be getting up to that if you're removing the condom secretly because you can cause a pregnancy. So ideally, you would just find a woman who, from the beginning, you both consent to bareback gorilla mode contact, all right? Silverback in it, we like to call it, when you don't use a condom. I personally, okay, I think condoms are just like, if you're having sex in the first place, it's already a problem, but you're gonna use a condom? What are you, gay? Protection? Avoiding pregnancy? Avoiding unwanted pregnancy? What are you, fucking queer? Fairy? You're a little fairy. That's what we call you, condom guys, fairies. We also got this video from Too Lazy to Try, commentary channel that I like to watch, titled "Trisha Paytas and Moses Hakmon are the most toxic couple ever." The story goes that Moses was messaging and having interactions with a number of H3 fans who I guess were into him, and then one woman claimed she was stealthed by Moses. She claims that he secretly removed the condom midway through their session. Now, we don't really have proof of this. Keep in mind, I have no idea if this even happened. There hasn't been really any super compelling evidence. We're still going to go over it today, but just keep in mind here, take this stuff with a grain of salt, because as far as I can tell, there's no definitive dead to rights proof that Moses Hakmon was slipping it off in the slippin' Jimmy type way, okay? Just slipping it off. No confirmed allegation proof as of moment of record now.
Your brother-in-law's fucking crazy and he's sick and he's fucking minors. And I was like, all right. And I was like, I'll pull out my phone and read the DMs.
I did not say minors. I can pull out my phone.
You said
and read
underage.
the DMs. No, I didn't.
You want me to get my phone?
Inappropriate age. Very young girls that are like 22. That's what I said.
Well, you have a
Quiet
guard.
Security. Yeah,
okay, but anyway. You were sending me these DMs, and I was like, "Wow, this shit's crazy." And then I actually started hitting up Moses because I was like, "Dude, what? I can't have you flirting with my fans because you were kind
I
of."
was a fan. Yeah, I was a fan.
It seems like whoever did the miscommunication here kind of fucked up, whether it was Trisha or not her, because, you know, there's no real claims of Moses meeting up with any minors or anything like that. Trisha's been caught lying before about other stuff. I remember on the H3 podcast, she said that a video she made wasn't monetized, and then Ethan was like, "Are you sure it wasn't? I got an ad on it." And she's like, "No, it's not monetized." And then Ethan was like, "Let's look at it." And then they looked at the studio and it was monetized. So, you know, I'm not saying that means she would lie about this, especially because this would, you know, eventually become her husband, guy, whatever. But, you know, if I had to guess where the miscommunication came from, it was probably Trisha Paytas. But ultimately, I don't really know. You know, I don't really know where that miscommunication came from. But it's important to keep in mind the minor thing, like I said, was not the real allegation. The allegation was about adult women, not underage ones. But according to Ethan, this led him to message Moses and tell him not to have any kind of interactions with his fans because it's kind of a bad idea, I guess. If you're, you know, doing YouTube stuff, it can be a bad thing to do. I personally have sex with every single fan that watches my videos. As you guys all know, you're part of my harem. So thank you for being a part of it, being silverbacked. Thanks for being silverbacked. But also keep in mind here, this clip was not really in reference to the stealthing thing because the real allegation hadn't really been propagated widely. It seemed like Ethan had very limited knowledge of whatever was going on, if anything even was going on.
So other than the H3 and frenemies and Trisha Paytas subreddits, there's really not much talk about this. And even on the H3 subreddit, there's really not many people talking about this. And usually when someone does bring it up, there'll be a bunch of comments that say like, does this have to do with H3? Like, Moses isn't part of H3. Like, look at these comments. This person said, is Moses H3? Another person said, I'm tired of seeing posts about him. He is not part of H3, which is honestly just mind-boggling to me because this post is making more people aware that this guy could be preying on young H3 fans, and people in the comments are like, this doesn't have to do with H3. Like, stop posting this. This is none of your business. Like, what do you mean? This is every H3 fan's business. Like, they should be aware of this. Like, they should be trying to make more people aware of this. Like, you'll go on in this subreddit about how David Dobrik's essaying people, but then when you figure out someone could be essaying H3 fans, it's like not appropriate to talk about. These people are just so toxic. Like, when it's someone else getting in trouble, they love to jump on it and be like, we need to just make everyone aware. We need to make sure everything's addressed here. We need to stick up for the victims. We need to keep going after them. But when we figure out someone in our community is doing something wrong and preying on some of the fans, it's like, we shouldn't talk about this, or it's like not our business. And then also people will be like, oh, these girls could just be lying, or they could be clout chasers, which could be true, but usually Ethan and all his fans take accusations really seriously.
Now, Too Lazy to Try over here would go on to make a second video going into more of the details of these claims, but even at the time, he made it clear that it was unknown if these claims were real at all. But this anonymous accuser started leaking what she claimed to be DMs with Moses on the Gram site. We've got the first screenshot here where Moses says, I've been around fame and fortune for most of my time here. It's an ugly scene. The accuser says it can definitely get corrupted. Moses says, I live my life in my bubble of water and plants, away from human drama. The accuser says, again, you just have a good time and enjoy yourself. That's what this is for anyway. Moses says, I'll be happy if I can share it with someone. He then goes on to say, Ethan said that I will have to disclose to anyone that I'm talking to, and I'll ask to take away the age restrictions. I mostly care about character and intentions. The accuser then says, I'm perfectly okay with you disclosing us talking if you are, would be ashamed to miss out because of an age restriction. And Moses says, I always assume that online conversations are public. Now keep in mind, once again, this is not relating to a minor. Seemingly these DMs are actually about the context of her getting on some kind of show that Ethan was doing, and as a result, Moses was also talking to her seemingly, but it's not exactly known what the fuck was going on here because there hasn't been like a huge public debunking that I've seen. Second screenshot here, the accuser says, yeah, Los Angeles is weird when it comes to things that are real. Moses says, in New York, I would have been married with kids by now. The accuser says, yikes, real adult things, scary. Moses says, not my choice. Oh, in New York, girls just take what they want. Since you will send photos or video to the show anyway, the close-up photo is beautiful, but it doesn't capture the person. I'm very visual. What? What is going on here? She says, you're right. I can send a body pic, clothes. Like I said, child of God. Moses says, I can know everything about a person when I see them, especially if I see them walk and talk. Body language tells all. She apparently said, Once again, for context, the whole thing here with like sending a picture of herself was for the show, so she could get approved for the show, I guess, to be like on the dating show to make sure she was up to par. Spiffy spam, allegedly. Once again, this stuff is like, it's like floating out there. Who knows what the fuck's going on? The accuser then says, I do have a small confession then. And Moses says, sure. Better now. You have no body? The accuser says, I've had an eating disorder on and off for about 10 years, so my weight does kind of yo-yo. I'm not horrendous, but I feel that way sometimes. Sometimes I wish I didn't, lol. I'm uncomfortable with my body sometimes, but I'm working on it. Doing a lot better now, but I definitely have my Latina body. So my curves are inevitable. I have my Latina body. Yeah, me too, dude. I have my I personally have my Latina body. My curves are inevitable. Yeah, my curves are inevitable. You can't escape them. Latina bodies, they're inevitable, guys. I'm sorry to hear that. I can help you with that regardless of what our future will be. I love curves. You are lucky. I'm looking for a photo I have now. I'm out with my roommates, so I can't really take a photo right now. I have dinner plans at 6, so you won't think I'm reacting to the photo that you haven't sent me yet. Lol, okay. So is that the reason you don't have many photos of you on Instagram? So here their discussion seems to be about some kind of prospective relationship thing. Maybe, you know, he says like, you know, even if it doesn't go further than the show, you know, even if we don't have a future, regardless of what our future may be, you know, I like curves, Latina guy curves, okay? Very fire, very, listen. When a guy walks up, when a fire guy with the biat walks up with the double chunk chocolate cookie, I don't even know what the fuck's going on anymore. Moses says, I'm going to get some pho, man, as male. And pho, keep in mind, because I'm a culture guy, is it's Chinese or something. It's an Asian noodle, I think Japanese. It's a noodle they eat. They eat the noodle, the pho noodle. It's like a soup, okay? I know, I'm cultured, okay? Remember. 9/11. Remember it. Man as male? Okay, no rush. Yes, male. Religious people are, but it is just a front. Most are weak and insecure, which is the reason they're violent towards women. Totally beta. Totally beta. So back to our points. I will help you understand what I'm talking about so you can own it yourself. Please do. It's for you to understand, not me to teach. If you will, it will be yours. And no one will ever hypnotize you again. No one will ever hypnotize you again. Has she been hypnotized before? Is this a history of hypnosis? Is this when I drink the Kool-Aid? Laughing emoji. Now, people here, when they saw this stuff, they kind of came to the conclusion there was some kind of cultish talk going on. I haven't really seen that. You know, once again, I feel like there just needs to be more context for this stuff to really make any kind of real allegation. If these DMs are even really from Moses, which as of now I can't even tell, to be honest with you. Here Moses says, the funny thing is that Ethan got to see her lady parts before I will get to, in theory. Huh? She reacts the same way I did. She says, wait, what? And then Moses says, she sent him a pic. Oh, I forgot her tweet. Jesus, I didn't want to see it. Not into black guys.
And the girl who released these messages says he's referring to Trisha and he called her a black guy because of her pronouns. It's just so funny because it seems like this guy does not really like her at all, but they're still about to get married. Their relationship is just such a mess. Like, he is obviously using her for fame and money, and she was using him just to get closer to Ethan and be part of his family and everything. But it's gotten to a point where it's just like, give it up already. This is not working out for anyone.
What is going on, chat? What is going on? What not into black? Who's not into black? Your mother? I don't know. There's this is weird. This is odd. Now, as Too Lazy to Try notes, and as I am going to note here, obviously these DMs don't prove any claim of stealthing as far as I can tell. They're really just DMs that are supposedly from him that are talking to this person. So to me, there's really no explicit proof in these videos that Too Lazy to Try made of any direct allegations. But at the time, Too Lazy to Try did want Ethan and Hila to respond. He was like, please respond to the allegation. You know, respond to the allegations. Respond to the allegations.
Talk about the allegation!
It did kind of show some weird behavior, I guess, from Moses, like the cult-like language about no one will ever hypnotize you again. But ultimately, like, this could have been nothing. I don't know the context of this. I don't even know if these are real screenshots from him. We don't have full proof of these, you know, DMs and stuff like that. It doesn't even prove that they had sex or met in real life from this set of DMs that we have. So yeah, but this amount of explanation, which was, you know, not a lot of explanation in terms of, you know, Ethan and Hila, from what I can tell, was not enough for the critics. They wanted to hear more, which led to a new Reddit post about this subject from 2 months ago. Okay, Moses allegations rant on the H3 snark subreddit. I saw this on the canceled podcast subreddit and didn't see it posted here. I think it's important to share this to those who don't know, because Ethan and Hila still run with a narrative that 1, Trisha was not essayed as a child, and 2, Moses R-worded someone. Both of these allegations were proven false. Trisha was essayed as a child by her teacher. Other victims of his have spoken out. Moses never R-worded the girl H3 claimed he did. These texts have been circulating for some time now, but haven't been organized like this. They owe both Trisha and Moses an apology before they try to leash off of Trisha's success again. Disgusting how they claim to believe all victims when it comes to an ex that is proven to have lied about Moses. Yet they still don't believe Trisha. They even called for justice for the teacher that essayed her, and they don't believe Palestinian women. They don't believe Palestinian women. Oh, they don't believe Palestinian women. The horror. Ethan will say, I said in the episode that I believe them, but at the same time, he was saying there needs to be a better source for it. How is there supposed to be a better source for it when the women that it's happening to are still in prison and being executed? It's clearly they don't care about victims and can't even stick to the mirage of their own morals. Morals spelled morales, like Miles from Spider-Man. And here we have this big long post, okay, where this person messaging someone named Daphne, and we have a lot of DMs here to go over, boys and girls. So there's a lot of context and interesting stuff here, but essentially the Reddit is claiming that, you know, people were falsely accusing Moses and that Ethan signal boosted that, essentially, right? It's just the way it happened. But yeah, that's how the show is. Did you get my card? No. Did you send me a check for my services? OMG, if I could pay you for that, I absolutely would. Laughing emoji. The best sex of my life. Haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Then we have this kind of thing like you ever hit them with the... They write a text from the only accuser confirmed to have actually met with Moses in person, saying how great the sex was to the man she later claimed raped her. They hooked up once. Then we have this post from this Daphne character saying, hey Trisha, if you're fucking my guy, can you at least follow me on Instagram or something? And then we have a reply that says, T, you sleeping with Moses too? Lol, I knew they were just hooking up and trolling. Lol, guess I was right. Question is, are you guys still sleeping together? Haha, haha, oh man, aha, 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 haha, oh man, aha. Trisha enters the picture and Daphne's pissed. Her one-time hookup who gave her the best sex of her life has found someone he likes more than her. Notice how Daphne says, you're my guy instead of that guy me. Here, Daphne says, one, like I said in the card, but if you find someone, I want you to be happy. I want us to remain friends more than anything. Then we have the response that says, I don't want to lead you on. I don't want to give you false hope. And then Daphne says, okay then, but friends. I feel like there's a lot I can still learn from you. And then we have the response that says, you know me. I live a lonely life and teach people from afar. I can't do my work when things like this happen. I'm not a normal person or friend, and you will be disappointed with me again. And this girl, the accuser, then says, I won't be disappointed if I understand you. If you live an isolated life, I respect that, but a lonely life isn't healthy for the mind. So there seems to be, some kind of reciprocal conversation here between the accuser and Moses, who, they're talking about the relationship basically, and how, she says she likes the sex. It was the best of her life, but he doesn't want to have a relationship with her basically. She says, WTF. He says, I never talked about us. She says, you never gave me the benefit of the doubt, and that sucks. He says, to do what? You lie to me. She says, you unfollowed me on everything and didn't do the same to her. I don't. I swear I'd never actually leak info about you. All I did was post that photo and the tweet and deleted that. How can you not trust me and trust her when she's doing all this horrible stuff? I don't get it. And then we have this long message from Daphne, this long message that says, thought I should let you know I made my Instagram and Twitter public again. I deleted everything that has to do with you. I unfollowed you on Instagram and Twitter. I'm sorry that you're going through this. I never want to be a part of this, and I accept full responsibility for that stupid tweet about her taking my guy and the photo. I'm deeply sorry for any hurt I may have caused you. It was never my intention. I made nobody from the middle of nowhere and never could have imagined she would see that. I had a beautiful Valentine's Day with you, and it was a night I really needed. It was nice to have a mental escape. All I signed up for was getting to know you, and I hoped it would have led to more, but you said it obviously wasn't the same on your part. That's okay. I'm not upset or anything about that. If you don't feel it, you don't feel it. That's no one's fault. I'm sorry that you regret meeting me. I've only ever been with someone for 2 months, and that was extremely long distance. I'm new to dating, but maybe it's just not for me. Thank you again for such a lovely Valentine's Day. It's a memory I will always cherish. Like you said, in the end, you'll see who had your heart in mind. I won't leak any convos or pics or anything. I have no interest in exposing anyone. I wish you nothing but happiness and light. Happiness and light. Daphne finally coming to terms with the fact that her hookup, later claimed to be her alleged rapist, has dumped her. Can't help but text a 10-paragraph essay to him as her goodbye, where she gushes over how much she'll cherish the one night they were together. But remember, what she's talking about here is her alleged rapist and the night she allegedly got R-worded. It's a memory I'll always cherish. And then we have this post that says, what dating advice would you give to someone who was recently cheated on? And the response here is, make his life a living hell, expose the shit out of him, ruin him. Oh my god, dude, this woman is nuts. Watch Spanish soap operas for more advice. But she can't let him go. She's so upset Moses won't return her affection that she's now trying to expose him to ruin him. Were you talking to Moses when he reached out to Trisha? We were dating and I found out he was cheating with her through fans sending me her OnlyFans content with him. Dude, this family is so weird. What is going on? I don't understand. Why do you have to date Trisha Paytas? That's the biggest question for me. Why? There's no reason to do that. You can do anything you want. Why her? Why? She goes on to expose Moses for cheating. She was never his girlfriend despite her wanting that so badly. She's trying to expose her one-time hookup cheating on her. Do you think he's faithful or the type to cheat based on you knowing him? Girl, he cheated on me. Yes, he's a cheater 100%. Makes you wonder why his other relationships didn't work. And then the writer here says, really makes you wonder why the allegations didn't come up here. Really makes you wonder if those were all bullshit claims. How did you meet Moses? Instagram. I slid in his DMs and said, hey, Waterboy, what up? People still assume that Moses was going after H3 fans when anyone who claims to have met him say they were the ones who reached out to Moses. Then we have this post that says, you can preach all you want about standing with victims, but when the moment came for you to stand, you chose silence. When you're at the altar kissing your husband for the first time as Mrs. Blank, I hope you remember where that nose was while he was faithful to you. Dude. This is such a weird drama. You guys ever find a weird drama? This is one of those weird dramas, and I don't like it. I don't really like it personally. But what I will say is that from here, based on everything I can tell from this Reddit, if they're, you know, presenting it honestly, which they may not be, it seems to me like there's no proof that Moses did anything bad, really, other than like sleeping around, I guess, which is like, who cares? Moses and Trisha are getting married, and Daphne spirals further. She was a victim of getting dumped by her one-time hookup, and that's it. And here we have another post that says, and please be sure to put it in therapy before it kills others and itself. Trisha and Moses are having a baby, and she's never hated an unborn child as much as this one. Then we have a post that says #unfit with a coat hanger. Oh my god, wait, she's saying to abort it? What the dude? This is messed up. This is messed up. This is weird. Then the writer here says, yikes. And then we have a final screenshot that says, hopefully you don't tell your baby they should have been aborted like your parents told you. Good luck to that poor girl. What a normal, sane woman, they comment. Obviously in jest, ironically. And I would agree. They do seem like a normal, sane woman. This Daphne character for sure seems normal and sane for sure. Overall, this person seems very mentally unwell and kind of a stalker. And once again, there's no direct proof that any kind of real sexual misconduct took place regarding Moses, from what I can tell. You know, there really isn't. But this thread ended up being locked, and then we had more conversation later on about it on the same subreddit about 12 days prior to me getting this whole, you know, video together. So these allegations from years ago are resurfacing now, and it's becoming a bigger conversation again. Here we have this new post that says Moses allegations. They write, sorry, I just got a note here. It says receipt queen. Is there is there a little tag there, receipt queen? That's not good. That's just not, it's not good. It's not good. And this individual, this receipt queen on Reddit, writes, just want to preface this with that I'm speaking as a person that has been R-worded, okay? They say they've been assaulted. I still deal with PTSD because of it. Because of this, and just generally being a woman and trying to be a good person, I tend to believe women and believe accusers, and I was already super sus of Moses after having seen the leaks of nasty messages he had sent about Trisha when they first started dating 4 years ago. But when there were girls on Reddit with text with Moses claiming he had stealthed them, I believed them. Even more so when it was corroborated by another alleged ex. Given the recent Ethan call-out of Moses, I'd kind of forgotten the details around the claims after reading some different comments, so I wanted to go back and find the original posts, and it was so difficult with so many conflicting stories and characters and deleted posts and deleted accounts. Eventually, I found someone who actually did the work in tracing back the different claims and cross-referenced them and how the claims changed over time. And here we have receipts post 1. A few things on Moses' allegations with receipts. Under the rumors and allegations tag, this is a post on Reddit from a few years ago, and this is an old one from the Frenemies 3 subreddit, seemingly a subreddit dedicated to just talking about the Frenemies podcast. And here, this is an old post with a lot of receipts talking about the allegations and how they were viewed at the time. A few things on Moses' allegations. For clarification's sake, there are 3 women who talked and or met with Moses who have been in contact with each other since 2020 and have been talking about Moses and Trisha online since then. Melissa, she allegedly runs these spilling tea accounts that have been leaking texts and posting about Trisha and Moses since 2020. The account was even mentioned by Ethan on the first episode of Frenemies. Mel is the one whose name Trisha doxed and whom Trisha accused of being from the guru gossiper crowd and of running the spilling tea accounts. Bro, can I just say, all right, I had someone email me the other day and they were like, I have some tea for you. They were like, I want to be in one of your videos. I have some tea for you. I have some information. And my only response to them, I didn't even read what they said. I just saw the word tea and I said, never use the word tea again, ever. And don't email me again. I was just like, fuck you. You know, the word pisses me off. I can't stand it. Okay. This word tea. You can't be saying that, dude. You can't be saying the word tea. It's not a good thing to do. Okay. Just say drama. Why say tea? Okay. Just say drama. Say coffee. Say anything else. Say anything else. She catfished Moses when he started talking with Trisha and never met him. She reached out to Moses via Instagram. Catnips texted with Moses and allegedly had a brief relationship with him. She met him through a dating app. Daphne texted with Moses and had one date with him on February 14th, 2020. After Moses debunked her allegation of being in a serious relationship with him and meeting him multiple times, she said on an Instagram live that they also had sex on February 15th, not just on February 14th, so it was technically more than once. She reached out to Moses via Instagram. I'll just rip the band-aid off on something. Despite Catnips and Daphne's claims of not being aware of each other and Catnips' claims of not being aware of anything before September 2021, when they made the stealthing allegation for the first time and Catnips made her first Reddit post on Moses, evidence seems to suggest that Spilling Tea / Melissa, Catnips, and Daphne have been in contact and coordinating with each other at least since late 2020. Either that or Melissa has been majorly playing the other two. This can be seen in this comment Spill Tea / Melissa left on Guru Gossiper in 2020. Not the only one from the time that already mentions Catnips. And here we have a Reddit preview, and it's a response to a, question and answer thing regarding Trisha Paytas. And this person says, to add something to the FAQ thread, question, what are the bruise pics about? Answer, Trisha and Moses had a fight in May, April. She beat and punched him, threw his keys over a fence, and wouldn't let him leave for 12 hours. We know about about this because a T account leaked DMs that were sent by 3 girls that Moses was talking to. One of them was his ex. In those DMs, it shows Moses talking about Trisha to those girls. He talks about how mentally and physically abusive she is, that being with her is draining, that she hates his cats and animals, insinuates that she smells bad, insinuated that her sister was the one helping Trisha with her dildos for OnlyFans, and also the infamous bruise picture that shows Moses' arms terribly bruised. One of the girls who leaked the bruise pics also got doxxed by Trisha. And then we have a caption here that says, "Hi, since my account leaked the DMs with Moses, I want to clear some things up." And the more you go through this stuff, the more it just becomes apparent that it seems like there was some kind of coordinated attack against Moses Hakamon from these different women, and there doesn't seem to be any proof of any real assault happening at all, any real proof of stealthing. It just doesn't seem to be the case. As this person goes on to write, "It's definitely a rabbit hole, but it totally changed my understanding of the situation. I won't go as far as to say the claims aren't true, but there's absolutely a reason to question their character and if they have ulterior motives. One of the 3 girls is literally a Trisha stalker that catfished Moses that has never met Moses in real life. You can watch her talk about why she catfished him here if you want to get a bit of a vibe for yourself." And here we have a video of this this supposed catfish looking very interesting. I mean, she looks pretty interesting. You know, this is the tea spilling this is the tea spilling alleged stalker of Moses Hakamon. Once again, this entire drama is like so cancerous. This is so cancerous, man. Another bit of an overview. The other girl, Katnips, did actually date Moses in late 2019. She was 29 and is the Asian ex-girlfriend, as Trisha described in one of the first Frenemies episodes. Katnips herself said her relationship with Moses was brief, and they broke up amicably and stayed friends and continued to text occasionally. They have gone on major tirades about hating Trisha. But despite breaking up in late 2019 and maybe early 2020, she was extremely active in Trisha's snark pages up through 2022. Once again, the weirdest thing about this shit is like when these people who, you know, some of them are public figures like Moses is, some of them are not. Seemingly, when there's like a breakup, it's not just like a private thing that gets resolved, right? Which is how it should be. When you have a breakup, if one person's a public figure, if both people are public figures, ideally, unless there's some like, you know, victim involved, you know, there's some kind of like sexual assault going on or something like that, there doesn't really need to be this like big public spectacle. But it seems like these people, when they break up with their boyfriend or whatever, they just go to like Reddit and they like start shit talking their boyfriend, or they start shit talking their boyfriend's new bride. It's like a whole cancerous affair. And it's like, I hate saying be normal because I know we're talking about YouTubers, but like seriously, why does this need to happen at all? It doesn't. The answer is it doesn't. Really odd to continue for years to have so much vitriol towards Trisha, who did nothing to her, way more hate than she had towards Moses, who is the one who allegedly assaulted her. Here's a small roundup of her other comments. Here we have a Reddit post talking about Trisha's OnlyFans post, which I would not wish seeing that on my worst enemy. But this person seems to be responding. This alleged ex-girlfriend of Moses is saying, "What's going on in the fourth from the last photos? What is that?" And then she writes, "Who is asking for open ass?" And then she writes again saying, "Wait, what is going on? Where is her lady bean? And why does she have a diaper rash in the front? Yeast infection," she writes. She's just commenting a lot about Trisha Paytas here. Now, she does have a little note here that says, "Content creators do not have my permission to use my comments." Good thing I'm not a content creator. I'm a content thief. The third player is Daphne, who is also unhinged. Daphne's Instagram was Miss Mercury, and she's the one with all the Instagram story allegations. She was 23 at the time. She claims that they dated, though they never agreed to exclusivity. She asked to be exclusive. He literally just said no, and he wasn't interested. They only met IRL one time in the entire relationship on February 14th, 2020, in which she makes the claim of Moses stealthing her. She also alleges in their relationship, which seems to not really be a relationship, it's like, you know, they hooked up, she wanted more, he didn't. She alleges that Moses was mentally and emotionally abusive. And that he fat shamed her and called her a catfish for being bigger than he anticipated. Look, bro, you guys know that like Wojak of like the skinny Wojak, but he's banging the obese Wojak. Listen, it is a reality that sometimes these women on dating apps, on various social media platforms, they will have a cute, skinny, nice, healthy weight picture of themselves and will be like, oh, that's a nice, attractive girl. And then that's not what they look like. I'm not saying that that's happened to me, but I am saying that I have sympathy for those who it has happened to. And frankly, I feel like you guys have been misled and mistreated. I have empathy. I empathize with Moses Hakamon, okay? Listen, we're on the same page, okay? We're on the same page. There are guys who like fat girls, okay? Go for them, okay? Meaning me. However, in receipts, she had texted messages in April, a lengthy paragraph asking him to be with her, and describes their Valentine's Day together as beautiful and something she'll cherish forever. Which we did already see that DM, which was a very like perplexing thing. It's like, once again, much like this poster, I'm not calling this woman a liar because I don't know what happened, but I've seen no proof of Moses doing anything really at this point. And as this person goes on to right? Obviously, I can't say the accusers are liars, nor do I want to, and I understand there are many complicated feelings after assault and a breach of trust. However, I can say, if you're like me, the allegations are not at all as cut and dry as people describe and how you might remember. I would encourage you to do more digging and go down the rabbit hole if you think Moses is guilty, because I got so much more context I didn't previously have that makes me feel pretty different about Moses. And they end the post by basically explaining that, you know, this idea that Ethan and Hila believe the accusers makes them believe that maybe they know more that isn't public, that they haven't come out with or something. But, you know, maybe that is the case, but ultimately I feel like, you know, in any case, if you're gonna make some kind of claim about anyone, there's got to be substantial proof for it, right? There's got to be substantial proof, and from what I've seen, there's no substantial proof. Maybe I'll be corrected, maybe I'm wrong, and if that is the case, then I'll make a follow-up video going over that. But from what I can tell, there's no direct proof at all that Moses did anything, and I think it is fair to say that the motives of the people involved here can be questioned because they don't seem to necessarily be the best, and there seems to be a lot of inconsistencies, right? Like, why, after being stealthed, after being assaulted, are you like texting the guy asking to be with him, right? You know, obviously, like they said, there's complicated feelings, you know, there's extenuating different circumstances, but it just is not, it's not really dead to rights. It's not really dead to rights, is it? But recently, Moses has also been like a discussion point on the podcast itself. Obviously, there was the big fallout back in the day with Frenemies ending, which was like the podcast that Ethan and Trisha Paytas had. Podcast splits up. Moses is in a relationship with Trisha, so that complicates things. And then there's all these like allegations floating around, so that complicates things even more. But this all led to where we are now, where it seems like Hila and Moses have not been on speaking terms for quite some time, and like the same applies to Ethan. But recently, Howie Mandel of all people, yes, Howie Mandel from like America's Got Talent, the guy with OCD, you know who he is. He like got involved with this and tried to reunite the family for some reason. Can we talk about how strange it is that these like mainstream normal celebrities are melding with YouTube and internet culture for a second? You know, on one hand, it's like it's a good thing, it legitimizes the platform. On the other hand, it's like if you've ever stepped inside of a Hollywood set, you're not a human being, obviously. So like I can't let you be around me and around anyone else. I need to push you out, frankly. I feel like that's fair. I mean, they're not human. They're literally actors. If you're an actor, you're not human. You know that. We need to put a stop to this, okay? Whatever it is, I'm gonna build a wall to keep the celebrities out of YouTube. That's my swag. You know, you guys can help me if you want. Be sure to vote for me soon. They're eating cats! But for a time, it seemed like Howie was trying to reunite this family, okay? And Hila even seemed open to the idea of Howie Mandel being a personal mediator for her family drama and like bringing things back together.
I'd hate to see you leave, but
think of that clicks.
Okay, so I wanted to say something, you guys. I wanted to say something. Whenever you bring it up, for some reason, it hits me differently. Maybe it's like a father figure speaking to me. I don't know. But maybe I'm open to thinking about something to do about it.
I hope you are. And I'm not saying it because I want to bring up something that's controversial.
I'm open to a situation where it's guided by you.
From day one, I'll do it. From day one,
we're both involved in it, Ethan. We need an outsider.
When I first met you, I met you in Malibu. I started talking about it, and people got mad at me. Your audience got mad at me because I said to Ethan, "You don't talk to your sister-in-law, and you don't talk to your family." And
but as of just a few weeks ago, apparently Moses contacted Ethan's mother because he was upset he was being talked about on the show so much. He didn't want to be mentioned at all.
All right, I'm going to get into something now. Nobody try to stop me. Oh boy. Uh-oh. I need to do this. I need to make a point here. Moses, if you're watching this, and I know you are, listen to me very clearly, you fucking loser. You're a grown man that cries and bitch and pisses to his mom every time I mention your name. Stop. I don't fucking care. I will never stop talking about you. You can bitch and cry and spit and moan every time to your mommy.
Keep in mind, it's hard to tell if this has anything to do with the stealthing allegations, which are pretty unproven, once again, as far as I can tell. Seemingly, it's more regarding Ethan recently firing pot shots at Moses over the frenemies fallout and more little stuff. Obviously, you know, the allegations could be mixed in there for sure. But it is interesting to see that Ethan has such a bad relationship with his brother-in-law to the point that, you know, Moses has to text his mom to talk to either of them. Like, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe I just have like a normal family or something, or maybe my family's not normal. I don't know, but this is like crazy. This like going through people to talk to other people. Families are fucking weird.
Anytime, and it's not even when I'm like mean. It's like anytime I talk about him at all, and it's like, guess what, bitch? This is who I am, and I will never stop. I will talk about you whenever I want. Okay, so cry more, you fucking loser. I will never stop. And guess what? I just don't care anymore. And we're on the same page. We're on the same page, me and Hila. Suck my dick. Send that to I mean, really, generally, just this is the only way I can think to stop him bothering his poor mom.
I don't know everything that played out behind the scenes with these two and why, exactly the blood is so bad. There's probably a lot of stuff we don't know. It obviously has something to do with Trisha Paytas, who is a very insufferable human being to be around from what I can guess about her. So I don't really blame Ethan for being somewhat combative, but it must be a strange position to be in where your family drama is being aired out on Reddit, on this podcast on a regular basis. Like, this is not a healthy space to resolve family conflict in the public eye. Family conflicts are not meant to have like millions of people watching over it and commenting on it and talking about allegations and talking about your ex-girlfriends. Like, that's not, a healthy, normal thing to have your family be going through. But that's like what Ethan's life has kind of become in a way. And it's sad, honestly. It is sad. It's like pathetic almost. Almost. It's almost pathetic. Not quite there.
He's always... Well, like, I need to make a point that, like, he will never succeed in what he's trying to do. He will only ever make it worse. And he keeps inserting his poor mom into the middle of conflict and, like, not giving her... It's all, like, one-sided because we don't go to her and complain about them to her because we're adults. Sure. We have lives. Like, dude, you have children to take care of. Just fucking be a man, okay? Whatever that means. Being a man is, there's lots of ways to be a man. And be a woman. Be a woman. And I mean...
I feel like he was worried he sounded like Andrew Tate there or something for a second. Look, guys, the proper phrasing, as you all know, to be a perfect non-binary, non-gender conforming sweetheart, like I am, is to use Z-Zim pronouns, okay? I am Zim, as you all know. Admit what you know to be the truth, which is that gender and sex have no meaning, okay? Listen, everyone in the audience, admit it right now. Bow to me, okay? I'm Zim. I am Zim. Being trans is the greatest thing you can possibly do for your culture, for your country, okay? Country men, I didn't mean men. Country Zims, okay? Ethan, come out. Come on. It's what we all want. Admit it.
So, yeah, in summary, hi, Moses, suck my dick, and shut the fuck up. With peace and love.
Yeah, it seems like that bridge is not going to be healed anytime soon from this level of anger and vitriol, especially towards a family member, someone that in an ideal world you'd all be friends with. Being on this podcast as a crew member must be like half about the drama that happens outside of the podcast and half about the drama that happens inside and all that shit. Just witnessing their like feeble, strange lives play out for everyone to see. It's like, Nick Ocado says, watching ants. I'm watching ants. It's the greatest social experiment I've ever known. It's a very strange time we live in when this is like how a lot of people function. Now, in my last video, I defended Ethan quite a bit, and I said that he's not that bad of a dude. In regards to the recent stuff, people were claiming there was like workplace abuse, which from what I could tell was fucking retarded. But there's some new allegations being made about Ethan in specific that are saucy, they're juicy. It's tea. And it's making me wonder if there needs to be a new Ethan Klein hate arc, because if this is true, if this following allegation is true, it makes me really, really not like him. But I don't know if it's true yet. We got to find out. And this whole drama revolves around the idea of copyright and other people clipping Ethan's content. So it pertains to, in particular, his policy a while ago on other people using clips from his podcast.
If you want to cut up clips from the podcast, from our members live, from anything with me in it, go for it, man. Monetize it. I will not claim. I will not remove. I will not do anything.
And this is an old video, but he's basically giving people free opportunity to clip his content as much as they want, post it on different channels, whatever. Now, the place of origin for this new allegation is the H3 Snark Reddit, once again. And they brought something really interesting to the table with this post they have titled, H3 is abusing the copyright system by striking our Reddit posts. And here we can see a post about the latest episode of the H3 podcast, which was apparently removed by Reddit's legal operations team due to a DMCA claim. And this subreddit is claiming that it's from Ethan or someone who works for him. It appears that Ethan thinks if our subreddit gets enough copyright violations, he can push to have it removed. This is an abuse of the copyright system. We are contacting admins and filing a copyright counter notice and appeal to try and get this sorted, but we may limit link sharing until we hear back. Edit to add, we believe this is from H3 because within the last 30 days, they've also been striking YouTube channels that upload brief clips from their episodes with the intent to criticize said clip. This removal says it was by, and then they give an email that I can't show, but the email is supposedly the same email used by Dan, who works for H3, free. I can't show it on YouTube due to privacy complaint reasons. You can't show someone's email on YouTube, even if it's in a public post. That's just how it works. But yeah, they're essentially claiming that, you know, Ethan is censoring their subreddit because he wants it to go down because he doesn't like what they have to say, and he's using the copyright system to do it. I think that a lot of the posts on this sub, as I said in my last video, are created by low IQ apes, okay? Truly just idiots. But that doesn't mean that they deserve to be censored or have their right to say what they think taken away, even if I think they're dumb. I think you should be able to share clips of someone's content if you want, even if you don't own it, especially because it's not like this subreddit is like making money off of these clips. It's not like they're stealing the content for that purpose. It's not like that kind of thing. They just are literally taking a clip from the podcast they want to talk about and putting it there. It's not like anyone's missing out on revenue from it being posted here. Of course, it is possible that someone is impersonating Ethan here, like what happened with Sniper Wolf, where people claimed that she was, you know, striking videos and it turned out to not be her at all. That is very possible. So it could actually not even be him or anyone on his team. But if this is genuinely H3 filing copyright strikes on this sub, then that's a bad thing that needs to stop now. That's like an affront to freedom of speech, you know? And the idea that Ethan would do this would be especially ironic considering that he is one of like the fair use copyright advocates on YouTube, right? Obviously, there's also the thing where he said people can clip whatever they want, but I mean, back in the day, Ethan was a huge part of setting an important precedent for fair use on YouTube. This goes all the way back to 2016, before I would guess even some of you were watching Ethan. Probably most of you know what I'm talking about, but basically there was this creator named Matt Haas. He had a channel called Matt Haas Zone, and he made some really cringy skits where he would like do parkour and then pick up girls. It was like some of the worst content you've ever seen in your life. At the time, Ethan and Neela decided to make a video called The Big, the Bold, and the Beautiful on their second channel where they just sat down, reacted to his stuff, poked fun at him a little bit. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was a pretty simple kind of, you know, format they were doing, and it was like a typical fair use reaction video. They weren't stealing his content, they were reacting to it and giving added commentary. Now, this video went largely unnoticed. It wasn't particularly well performing. People didn't really care about it, but Matt Haas himself really didn't take it lightly. And the situation got out of control to the point that Matt filed a lawsuit against the Kleins for that video, which they then went public about a few months later, and it became like a huge drama on YouTube. Keep in mind, Ethan and Hila were not the multi-millionaires. They didn't have Teddy Fresh at the time. They didn't have the money that they have now, and they talked about how they were really, you know, struggling to keep themselves afloat during this time. Don't fucking call me. I'm recording a YouTube drama video. But eventually, a news channel on YouTube, Philip DeFranco, really came through and started a fundraiser for them. And the entire community managed to pitch in, and they raised a ton of money.
And again, I need to emphasize so much, because it's been so long since we talked about this, that thanks to Philly D's fundraiser, we raised, I think after GoFundMe took their cut, $150,000. And I'm sure that we're going to spend every dime of that and probably another $50,000 of our own money to defend this lawsuit.
Eventually, the lawsuit came to a close. Ethan and Hila unequivocally won, and they also won an important precedent for fair use in terms of copyright stuff on YouTube, basically proving in a court of law that making a reaction video on YouTube is fair use, and it is, you know, copyright DMCA abuse to take that post down. It was a huge win for the content creator community. And the reason I bring this up is because the idea that Ethan would then, you know, be using the copyright system to silence some of his critics is absolutely insane. And if that is true, then he really deserves to be called out. But once again, this could be someone impersonating him. It seriously could be. So I'm not really sure if this is actually him making this DMCA claim or someone that works for him. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. I'm giving him a little bit of charitability here because it seems, you know, even with the recent stuff Ethan's done, it seems unlikely that he would do something like that. But, you know, I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see on that one. And on that note, I have to go call my mommy. Also, the merch is almost sold out, but if you want to stop gooning with my merch, you should buy it right now. See my merch? It's almost gone. I have like a few shirts left, a few hats left. It's almost gone, but last call, and then it's going to be sold out and gone until the next drop. So if you want it, get it now. I'll see you all in the next video where yeah, you're right. I'm putting it up my ass again. Goodbye.